Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On the bill. Mr. Speaker, I rise in favor of marriage, in favor of equal rights for all New Jerseyans. And while respecting the points of view and the differing points of view in this debate against this legislation. Before I speak, I want to stress and note my admiration and respect for the prime sponsor of this bill. Assemblyman Jay, while I almost always disagree with him, is a bright and articulate representative for his causes, and I don't doubt his sincerity on this issue. Nevertheless, I have to oppose him. Maybe one more time. I've heard a lot today about people. Mr. Speaker, I was addressing you. I'll continue to address you. Thank you. I've heard some comments today from our colleagues that we shouldn't legislate morality, or we shouldn't judge others or impose our views on others. Let's be very clear that opposition to this bill today is not about judging others. It's not about imposing one moral view on someone else. Gay and lesbian New Jerseyans have every right to live as they wish in this state. They should enjoy every right that is granted to them under the law. What gay and lesbian couples do not believe, I do not believe gay and lesbian couples have the right to make their desires able to override or redefine the institution of marriage for everyone else in this society. Our civil union law grants all the rights and privileges of marriage to gay and lesbian couples. In 2006, the state Supreme Court required this legislature to come back and grant all the privileges and immunities of married couples to gay and lesbian couples who wanted to enter into a permanent relationship. And the legislature did what it was ordered to do by the court in 2007. It revised nearly 90 sections of law, went line by line through the code to make sure that gay couples had equal rights to married couples. This issue is not about equal rights. Gay and lesbian couples in New Jersey have all of the rights of married couples in New Jersey. Now, we hear arguments that this civil rights law isn't working. And as a matter of fact, S1 states we can't grant any more rights. There's no more rights we can grant under the law to gay and lesbian couples. Nevertheless, we need to change something because it's just not working. And I have no doubt that there are sincere gay and lesbian couples in this state who feel deeply hurt when the civil union law isn't respected, when their rights, they believe, are trampled. And I have sympathy for any couple, any individual in New Jersey who believes that their rights aren't being respected in this state. But as Assemblywoman McCose noted, all the information we have been able to gather tells us that, thankfully, the problems we are seeing, though tragic, are not widespread. There are about 5,500 gay civil union couples in this state. There have been 13 complaints to the Civil Rights Commission that their rights under the civil union law hasn't been respected. And only 12 have been dismissed. Only one remains open, and probable cause has been found. Now, one is too many. If there's an instance where the civil union law is not being respected, the law should be enforced, and we should not accept that anyone's rights in this state would not be respected. But there is no evidence that there is a widespread trampling of civil rights in this state. And if there is a problem with respecting those rights, this bill doesn't fix it. It grants no more rights to gay and lesbian couples in New Jersey than they already have. So the benefit of this bill, I think, is ephemeral. But the cost is great. And this is what this bill is really about. The bill is about redefining an important institution of civil society. And that should all give us great pause. I think Assemblyman Jay, Chairman, started this debate in a fundamental way and in a deeply principled way, and that's why I'm humbled and I feel it's a privilege to participate in this debate. But I want to go back and talk about first principles and where this state was back in 1621 and even before. Let's remember that marriage, the union of one man and one woman, is an institution, one of many institutions that predate the state of New Jersey, predate the United States of America. Relationships like husband and wife, parent and child, lawyer and client, doctor and patient. Those are all relationships that predate the state. In 1621, when Governor Bradford performed the first civil marriage ceremony, he wasn't creating marriage. He was recognizing marriage. The civil state was recognizing what already existed before it. Those relationships I talked about, and the relationship of marriage, isn't created by the state. The state doesn't and shouldn't control them. The state recognizes and supports them. You have to define it in order to recognize it. But that definition doesn't create the institution of marriage. That definition merely recognizes the institution of marriage. And that's what our federal and state constitutions are doing. That's why they were created. James Madison created or helped create this country to protect civil society, not to create institutions like marriage. And those institutions are vitally important to our country because together, along with our Constitution and our laws, they limit the government's power over our lives. When those institutions of civil society are weakened, our freedoms are weakened. We are free in this country because we have a limited government, not an all-powerful government. And a state that claims the power to fundamentally change the meaning of an institution like marriage claims the power to redefine any of those other relationships. That is the power that this legislature should not give to the state. This legislature is bound to recognize, not alter, the fundamental institutions of civil society that help make us free, and that is why I respectfully oppose this bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.